Well, Kristalina Georgieva is in her maiden speech as the International Monetary Fund's chief has painted a rather grim picture for the world economy. She warned that nearly 90% of the world will witness slower growth in 2019 and that the world was in a synchronized slowdown and needed a synchronized response. The growth this year is expected to fall to its lowest level since the beginning of the decade. Her speech comes ahead of next week's annual meeting of the IMF and World Bank. Both the organizations are set to present the World Economic Outlook. Now, Georgieva said that the IMF will be cutting its growth forecast for 2020 as well. The fund has already downgraded its forecast 4 times since last October. She said that the slowdown was more pronounced this year for emerging markets and economic activity in advanced economies was softening. The new IMF chief also blamed trade disputes for the global slowdown. She highlighted that trade conflicts could lead to a loss of a whopping $700 billion from the global GDP output by 2020. The IMF's research also takes into account the US-China trade conflict, which could have long-term repercussions, she said.
We have spoken in the past about the dangers of trade disputes. Now we see that they are actually taking a toll. Global trade growth has come to almost standstill. In part because of trade tensions, worldwide manufacturing activity and investment have weakened substantially. There is a serious risk that services and consumption could also soon be affected. And even if growth picks up in 2020, the current rifts could lead to changes that last for a generation. Broken supply chains, siloed trade sectors, a digital Berlin Wall that forces countries to choose between technological systems.
And when speaking about the monetary policy, Georgieva said that central banks need to keep their interest low, especially due to the low inflation and weak growth. However, she's also said that there was a limited scope for future cuts because the borrowing was already nearing zero and negative marks as well. Now, the IMF chief took over as the head or the managing director of the world body on 1st October after Christine Lagarde resigned. Georgieva is the former chief executive officer of the World Bank.